Good evening, good evening. How you guys doing out there tonight? It's Mike Melton back with From Pain to Purpose podcast, episode 28. I had to reach down to the fam and bring my cousin on tonight, but his story is so profound. There was some things in there that I didn't know about at the time before doing this broadcast. So I'm gonna be learning tonight about him too, man. What's up, cuz? My cousin Bishop Dr. Fulton Parham is in the building. What's up, cousin? How you doing, man?
Hey, maintaining. Just a little tired, but hey, I'm pushing forward. You know how that is.
Yeah, man. You pretty busy down there in South Carolina, man. I see a lot of the things you got going on, and you still into being in service, man. Like
Yes, sir.
that's been a trademark of us and our family also, you know what I mean? You see
Correct.
what I'm doing on this end. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
the most high is definitely pointing us in that direction of being in service, man. How do
Yes,
it
sir.
feel actually like being on the other side of this thing now, like being in total service for people and stuff, man?
It feels good to know that you can help somebody because everybody needs help. But you gotta look at it like this: when you can actually be the person that helps somebody, it's a good
Mhm.
feeling.
Yeah.
To tell somebody how they can get from what are they doing to better them. It feels good. It feels good.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
feels good.
Mm-hmm. Well, take us back, man. Take us back to growing up in Trenton, man. How was it growing up, man? Take us back to your early days, man, and from your perspective, give it to us, cousin.
Growing up in Trenton, New Jersey was a learning tool. It's a
Mm.
stepping stone. Growing up out North Trenton, being able to just go anywhere in Trenton you want to go, and nobody wanted to beat you up or whatever, because
Fact.
some people couldn't do that. But thank God I was able to do that. But just growing up in Trenton, break dancing and
Mm.
hanging out in the park, playing football, playing basketball. It was playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
North Trenton Little League. It was
Mm-hmm.
something.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't play baseball to go, so they cut me off the team. Chubby Blackwell told me, he said, "I'm not gonna
mm.
let you play football because you like to kick people."
Mm.
He said, "Baseball, they strike you out. You want to hit it with the baseball bat. So
Mm.
you have to do. We kind of have to find you something that you can excel at and just be
Mm.
good in." So they put
Mm.
me in. They put me in the pool.
Mm.
So I just excelled in swimming.
Yeah, man,
Citywide champ. You
you
know.
was a beast. You was a beast in the swimming thing. When did you know going in there that like the swimming thing like that was your thing?
Um, I would say with the summer program,
Mm.
even going back to Camp Meter, when I
Mm.
was showing them kids how to swim butterfly. I'm only like 10, 11 years old, and I'm swimming butterfly, and
Mm.
I was just laughing them. So I was like, wow. It's got something. And then the girls on the side, they looking at you. They're like, go, 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 go.
You said
You know,
can't meet her, huh?
yes,
That took
sir.
me back. Oh man, what was the lady named Terry or something? The white lady that was running it. The
Well, yeah, yeah.
up in the mountains, they had the bike trail thing. You took me
Oh,
back to
yes,
Camp Meter,
yes.
huh?
Can't.
Wow.
Hey, every summer. So that when
Yeah.
people seen that I could swim,
Mm-hmm.
I went from swimming to tennis.
Mm.
And like I said again, it was just my thing was swimming because it relaxed me.
Mm-hmm.
It showed me that I had the endurance to do what others say that quote unquote us African American kids couldn't do.
Mm.
Because when it came to swimming, that's not a black person sport, to be honest with you.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it just did me good to know that I could actually do something that people would be like, you know what? Yeah, yeah, he the
Mm.
man. So I went from camp meter to junior high school swimming. Got a few state little or county trophies and ribbons, and
Mm.
it just exploded in my head. It exploded. Then the summer program, it just boom.
Yeah.
It really
I was
did it.
them summer the swim meet at the end of the
Yes,
summer was
yes,
that thing, bro.
yes. Because everybody came out to see who was
Everybody
the
came.
best. Who was the
Yeah.
best?
Everybody
Yes,
came
sir.
out in the summer, man. You used to be killing. And I had
Yes.
Winfield on here. Winfield, I mean, I wish I could have
Mm-hmm.
get Winfield on here. Winfield was a beast too.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had the like it was just a different time then, man.
Yeah.
Growing up. The pool, everybody in line with their towel and their bar soap, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes, sir.
it was
You know,
just it was just a different. And you brought up
I,
Chubby, man. Shout out the RIP to Chubb Blackwell.
yeah,
He did so much for so many kids, man.
yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying?
He did. He did. And that was one thing that I could say that drove me to want to help people because it was even like being there, standing in that line at the pool.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm about to tell. I'm gonna tell some of myself when I had that Ivory bar soap, and the next person didn't have soap.
Mm-hmm.
I take out my little switchblade, clicked it open, and I'm gonna cut my soap in half to give to
Mm-hmm.
somebody else because
Yeah.
Chubby Blackwell instilled that to us. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
you have something you can help somebody else, help them because I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Man, Chubb did everything for us, man. The baseball, the basketball, took me and my boys to clean sweeps over in Philly, man. And those kind of people, the ones supposed to be honored in Trenton, man.
correct, correct,
Chubb Blackwell, Paul Pantella, man.
correct. Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Lee, man. Harry Lee, man.
Harry
Like,
Lee.
yeah, them the ones
Good
that
old
should have
Uncle
their
Harry.
names on the
Yes, sir.
buildings, man.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
come on, man. Like, how Chubb don't have a building? It's nothing, no street named after him. Like, that's going crazy right now, man.
Correct. And I hope somebody watching this can say, you know what?
A
They
hundred,
right.
a
They
hundred
right.
percent, man. Like, Chubb was that guy, man. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Also, around that time, cousin, you got into karate and your knuckle game got up, man. Talk about what made you want to get
Well,
into that, man.
well, what happened was I was going to Jefferson Elementary,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my little Michael Jackson thing going on, and the girls going on, and it was one guy who always wanted to fight me because his girlfriend liked it me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I didn't even like his girlfriend. But his thing was, hey, uh, uh, what you get to the park? What you get to the park? He kept saying, what you get to the park? So one day I met Steve Chambers
Mm.
and cousin Brian and Shannon from Brunswick
Mm-hmm.
Avenue. They was
Mm-hmm.
going to Jade Dragons. So I got to a fight with this guy. He was from Dolly Holmes. And when I got in a fight with him, I had my little knuckle game up, but he kicked me. When he kicked me, it kind of shook me. I said, "This joker know karate."
Mm.
So I ran. I ran
Mm-hmm.
from it. So Brian and Shannon and all of them and Red and all of them, they was like, "Yo, ho,
Mm-hmm.
ho." And Born King was like, "Yo, you better not ever run again, but I'm gonna beat you up." So it was like, Aunt Georgia and I had it was like, "Hey, what you gonna do?" So they put me in karate school. I went to J. Jackson's Karate Institute.
Mm.
My grandmaster Steve Chambers, God bless the dead.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Steve was a
learned
good
how
dude.
to, I learned how to fight with my feet and my hands, and then
Mm.
that's when people say I became a beast because I
Yeah.
was kicking them inside the head.
Yeah. 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 I knew one thing. If I had too many issues at the park, I had Born at the house and I had you on Brunswick right
Yes,
across the
sir.
street. Like, yo, and your brother E, all y'all right
Yeah,
over there.
yeah. So it was like
I ain't
that,
had to really worry about none of that, man. How y'all
And
doing, man?
Ja doing good. I talked to Ja last week. What's
Mm-hmm.
funny about Ja? Let me put a pin right
Uh-huh.
there. Ja said, as much as you did growing up, he said, man, who gonna give you a badge and a gun?
That's what I said when we first came on. I'm like, yo, how I feel to be on the other side of the law,
So,
man.
hey, look, hey, I was joking one day. I said, Ja, you remember these?
I said, how you get on the other side of the law, man? What's going on?
Well, that's a whole different
God,
story.
man.
But you
Yeah,
know what though?
man.
What
Mm-hmm.
really gave me the notion about fighting. I don't know if you remember him, um, Detective White.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Detective
Mm-hmm.
White grabbed me one day, and I kicked him in his groin,
Mm.
and everybody was like, "Oh!" And he whooped me like I was one of his own kids.
Mm.
And he said, "You better not ever kick me again." Blah 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 blah. But yeah, so that got out. That got out.
Mm.
And when
Mm.
I got to that fight a little bit down the line, I got older in the park. This guy, I forget his name, but I know they called him Di.
Mm-hmm.
I knocked him out and pissed in his face,
Mm.
and people was like, "No,
Mm.
he just didn't do that."
Mm-hmm.
So that fight game, it followed me for a while. Junior one,
Mm-hmm.
Trenton High, it followed me because, but I
Mm.
always tried to curb my fighting because I knew if I keep fighting, one of these days I'm gonna end up at Trenton State.
Mm.
So I tried my best to like curve my fighting, but if it
Mm.
came to me, you could rest assured I was gonna handle it. And you, my cousin, if you would have came to me and said, "Yo, F, this person messed with me," I was gonna handle it. It wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts about it because we was always taught, "Hey, family first."
100%, 100%. Now you living your life, you going on, you living things going on. You know what I'm saying? 1994 ran into a serious incident, man. Take us back to that. What happened and get into it, man.
1994 was a year that I will never ever forget. I was always trying to help people, and people would say, growing up, I had a nice body. I was buff. I had muscles, and I didn't know that back then I had females looking at me that was younger than me,
Mm.
like to say, if I can't have you, can't nobody have you.
Mm.
And it was just one girl that, and I really didn't even know who she was. And they said she used to come to the city pool where I was a lifeguard at, and she would always watch me. And one thing, I was always watch people around me. I would try to, tune in like who's on my back.
Mm-hmm.
But this one girl, it was her and like three other girls, like four of them all together. The one girl used to always say, "Fulton is a one sexy man." And
Mm-hmm.
then her mom made a comment about me in junior high school. But this one girl, she would always like zoom in on me. So I don't know. I went back to college. I came home preparing the pools for the summer, and I was out at Cooper Pool out South Trenton, and these two detectives, they pulled up on me, and they said, "Fulton, we need to talk to you." They knew who I was by name because
Mm-hmm.
because I grew up in Trenton, and I said, "What's up?" They said, "We need to take you downtown, talk to you downtown." I said, "Hold on, about what?" So it was like, we can't talk about it right here. We know that you are known and people know you, so we don't want to talk about it here. So I just said, okay, cool. I mean, I didn't have nothing to hide, so I didn't know what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I get downtown, and they say to me, well, we have you down here on allegations of rape.
Mm.
I said, you do what? And the same time I'm bending forward, I lean forward on the table. I said, you doing what? Now they didn't handcuff me or nothing because I went down there willingly. So I'm like, you doing what? I said, who? What? I says, I don't have to rape nobody. He says, well, a young lady said this has been an ongoing investigation since February. You was home for winter break. You was helping people out, understand all that, but a young lady said that you took advantage of her.
Mm.
So they arrested me, and I was like, what the hell? My life, it's just stopped. It
Mm.
stopped at that very second. My whole life just like, I'm like, what the? Who? I couldn't get it together.
You
So when
couldn't
they sat
process.
me,
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't because I'm like, okay, everybody, I'm always trying to help people.
Mm.
So when they put me in a cell, the one cop said, it was a detective. He says, look, I know you have a past. He said, but we're not judging you on your past. He said, you're going to get through this. He said, because one thing for certain, two things for sure. He says, I know your father. I know the steps that you make to get to where you at in life. He said, so just let it handle itself. I
Mm.
just said, okay. So they took me from
Mm.
there to the workhouse. I got to the workhouse. I was up on 4 North. I'll never forget it.
Mm.
My first night, it was like, people around me like, yo, what's up, F? What you doing here? And I was quiet because I couldn't. I'm still trying to process. I'm in jail for a rape charge.
Mm.
So now it's on TV.
Mm.
It's on the radio. It's in the newspaper. So I had my first fight was my second day in jail at the county. My
Mm.
first fight, and the guy wanted to fight me. He was from he was from East Trenton, and we started knuckling up in the back of the unit. And after that, I didn't have no more trouble. But there were people in there who said, "Hey, you mess with F, it's over for you."
Mm-hmm.
They put me up on bad dad. They call that bad dad. So I was like,
Mm.
dude, this is crazy. So at that point, um, I was my bail was 50,000.
Mm.
I billed 50,000. And they said the reason why I was so high was because I go to school out of state. I was going to Norfolk State. That's number one. Number two,
Mhm.
I was well known. Number three, I'm a traveler. I love to travel. I've been around the world. So they looking at all of this. The prosecutor pointed it to the judge. I could be a flight risk. $50,000 was my no. I'm sorry, no. $100,000 was my first bail. My second bail it dropped to 50,000. And then my third, no, my second bill was 50. My third bill, it was like um what like it was under $10,000 because now things are starting to come to fold. Number
Mm.
one, I'm getting character statements, people calling, people talk to WIMG. Now it's like people are coming out of the woodwork that I didn't know nothing about. So
Mm.
once I got out on a Thursday morning. I remember it. I walked from the county all the way to Stuyvesant Avenue.
Wow.
And as I was walking, I was crying. I was crying because I
What
couldn't believe it.
what things came out that like vindicated you of it?
It was almost a year. The young lady, I don't know who she talked to. I don't know what happened, but she came out and said that it never happened.
Damn.
She seen me, she wanted me, and that if she couldn't have me, she didn't want nobody else to have me. She said that I was to her, I was a famous, good-looking person. Yes. And the crazy part about it, the psychological part about it was I wasn't the first person that she done this to.
Wow.
I
And
wasn't the
nothing
first.
happened with her?
Nope, 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 none at all.
Damn. So when you going through this, how did this affect your mental health, man?
Mentally, like I said, I cried all the way to Stuyvesant Avenue. Mentally, I didn't understand what was going on because I couldn't understand like why would a female say I did this to her. The crazy part about it was now here like you might toss your chair when I say this. She said it happened on Trenton High on the stage in the month of February.
Mm.
So now it's like things is coming to pass. Wait a minute. Don't Trenton High have a gospel fest every year? Don't they rehearse in the auditorium every year? So when this came out, it was like, wait a minute. Right. Trenton High stage? So now I get to my father's house mentally, Mike, I'm tore apart.
Mm.
I'm
I'm at
tore apart.
college when this going on, so I don't have no
Yeah,
idea that you
correct.
dealing with all of this.
Correct.
Like
It
I'm in
was
college, like this. I had
I,
no idea you was dealing with all of
I
this.
didn't know what I was gonna do next. And all I could do was pray. I cried and I prayed. I got a part-time job with Shanae Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Shanae came by the house and she says, "Look, you need a job. I got you."
Mm.
So mentally, I was just destroyed. I went back to college. I thought I could make it through, I ended up having a heart attack.
Mm. Before we get to the heart attack in
Mhm.
1996, what? Because I know when they first come out with the stories, the news, and this, blah blah blah. Me from going with what I went through with my wife being murdered and stuff, and they having me in the newspaper and stuff. Like,
Mhm.
how did it feel that they don't never say you innocent with the same aggression? You get what I'm saying? Like they not
Because
putting out no articles.
because see, you
You know
gotta
what I'm
realize
saying?
something. Yeah, but you gotta realize something. They can't say that you did it, so they use words like allegations.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
said that,
Mm-hmm.
so with the allegations of legally, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's legal term right there. So now they're not saying that you did it, but they're saying that someone say you did it.
Yeah, but I'm saying once it came out that you didn't do it, was there any articles? Was there any newspapers? That's what I'm talking about. Now, how it feel when you walking away
That's
from this, but most people still might think that you that kind of person.
and you know what? And I believe to this day, some people still say that I'm guilty. And that's in my mind.
Dang.
That's in my mind. That's why,
That's
like I
wrong.
said again, it was hard for me to move forward. But I believe that when God says, "I got you," I will never leave you nor forsake you. It didn't matter what people said about me, and I've seen people will look at me sideways. Um, Even at the mall, when I was working at the mall, people would say, they would point the finger.
Mm-hmm.
So psychologically, it's a hard pull to go through, because what
Mm.
happens is you got to realize, once you're vindicated, that's not news.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not news. It's not
That's what.
news.
Yeah.
You
Now.
can you can sell papers, you can sell stuff on the internet, because guess what? It's saying this is what he did or he allegedly
Mm-hmm.
did.
Mm-hmm.
That'll sell. But when you
Mm-hmm.
vindicate it, okay, whatever, that ain't gonna sell.
What how did that affect your relationship with women moving forward in terms of trust?
Um, I don't I don't trust nobody. It took me almost 4 years to trust my wife after I got married.
Mm.
I don't, and then one thing I learned at Norfolk State, it was a Professor Barnes. Professor Barnes said, I know what you went through. She said, but moving forward, she was Professor Barnes stood 5 foot tall. She said, look, let me tell you something. They call you Cat Daddy. She said, she said, she said, but you know what? When it's all said and done, always know who you're around.
Mm.
Always keep track of your movement. I said, yes, ma'am. So
Mm.
I didn't trust women, because I
Mm.
didn't know who was gonna say I did this or I did that.
Mm.
So it's hard. I don't care what nobody says. It's hard to trust you. It's hard.
Mm. Then what happened? Now you back in college, you got things going, you still dealing with that. Was the anxiety and the stress and all of that? That's what led to the heart attack?
Well, what happened was, um, when it was over, that was before the heart attack. It was over. What happened was, like, I felt like you, like, yo, anybody gonna print this up that it
Mm.
didn't happen?
Mm.
Is anybody gonna say, hey, let's do a retraction on this?
Mm.
That was number one. Number two, I was losing my scholarship. Number three, I started gaining weight.
Mm. Depression.
I was depressed because now I felt like I was all alone. I
Mm.
felt like I felt like people was watching me, so I would walk across campus and I'd be like this.
Mm.
I kept looking over my shoulder. So one day I got so depressed, I was in the pool swimming, and it was a girl from Connecticut. She says, "Cat Daddy, you okay?" I said, "Cause I got out the pool and I sat on the side. We was in there swimming laps." She said, "Cat Daddy, you okay?" I said, "Nah, I don't feel well." And that thing I know, I was in the hospital.
Mm.
I was in the hospital. So they said my blood pressure was sky high. My heart was almost beating out of my chest.
I remember the heart attack situation. I remember
Yeah,
that, but I ain't know what led up to it. Now,
yeah.
now when you land in that hospital bed, what type of thoughts is going through your head? Like, take me to that moment.
Who in the hell is all these people around me? But you know what?
Uh-huh.
Singing gospel music at a
Mm-hmm.
HBCU,
Mm-hmm.
they did not let me go through this by myself.
All
Rodney
praises. All
Broussard,
praises.
Angie, it was like 4 or 5 females standing there that was in the gospel choir at Norfolk State.
That's
But
dope,
Rodney
man.
Broussard, he and I are still brothers today. He was like, "Cat Daddy, you gonna get through this." He said, "I don't
Mm.
know what's going on." He said, "But you said to me something happened in New Jersey." He said, "It's all good." He said, "We family, we got you."
Mm.
And being in that bed to hear somebody say that, and then my father stepped in the room. Conrad Purnell came down from Jersey.
Mm.
Mark Belly came down like a week after that.
Mm.
So it
Mr.
was like
Belly, shout
people,
out,
yeah,
shout out.
yeah,
Yeah.
people was there for me. They was like, "Yo, you gonna live. It's
Mm.
over." So it was a thing. I was like, wow. At first, I was like, who these hell are these people around me? But then when I gained consciousness, I realized who they
Mm-hmm.
were, and I just said, God, I thank you. And that was my biggest thing. God, I thank you. And then just to have the assurance that people had your back. That
Yeah.
plum. You may say they're plum strangers because you met them in college, but
Mm-hmm.
you always say your college family is your forever family. And that's what they said at that HBCU at Norfolk State University, Behold the Green and Gold. They said your college family is your forever family.
Facts,
So,
facts. That's
you
and
know,
that's 100% true. I could relate to those kind of situations. I remember I was going through the situation and with being a suspect in my wife murder and it seemed like nobody cared about what I was going through. Like the people at the job, the prosecutors, nobody cared. It was like, all right, you just sitting over there and until we figure this out. And I remember one day, right, I had to go to the primary school to drop off a package, you know what I mean? And from the Board of Education. I wasn't allowed to be around the kids and none, so they just let me come in, quickly leave the package and go back to the board, right? But when I got by the primary school, it was a lady. I think her name was Miss Tanya or something. And she had stopped me. And she said, I need to talk to you. And I went over and talked to her. And I said, what's up? She said, all this stuff going on. How are you feeling? She said, it seemed like everybody's caring about everything else, but nobody's worrying about what's going on with you. And cousin, man, I just started crying, bro, because nobody up to that point, like the superintendent, the principal, nobody wasn't checking on me, nobody wasn't calling me. They was having rituals and candlelight things for my wife, and I couldn't go. Like they wouldn't invite me to nothing. And she was the first person that said, what about you? How are you feeling? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me tell you, man. The what you're saying is so correct, because when I got out of the county, and I hate to say this like this, a white man came to my rescue.
Oh, that happened for me too, brother.
They said, they said, we need. My lawyer said, she says, I got your statement. She says, I need character statements. Mark Billy, Raymond Bagley, Sam Davis, Poppy David Sanderson, Miss Bussey, Magnolia McLaughlin, Charles Ramsey. These are people that came to my rescue. But one thing Mark Billy said to me was, if you need me, I got you. Sam Davis.
I remember Mr. Davis. That's my guy.
Sam Davis. He came to me. He said, F, you are the best. And he always would tell me that. He said, F, you are the best.
Good dude in the weight room.
Yeah, he wrote a statement.
And the second thing was, like you just said, the second person was my lawyer named Ron Venturi, man. He passed away. White guy. He called me once he saw the newspaper article and was like, I'm gonna represent you pro bono. I know you didn't do this. And I knew black guys that were lawyers and this and that. Ain't nobody reach out to me. This dude reached out and said it. And then last person, it was of course people that I know, but these people that came out to me was the detective Scott Sammons that solved the case. And he talked to me on the phone, and one of the most profound things he said to me was, I'm gonna get you your life back, because it's a shame what them other cops did to you, man. Bro, I started crying, bro. He said, I'm gonna get you your life back, man. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So I could relate to that, man. So let's get back into you now. You in you down in Norfolk State. How did you start recovering from the heart attack? Like, what did you have to do, man? And how much was you thankful for God's mercy, man?
To recover, I stayed around people that was positive. Rodney took me to his hometown in Silverton, Georgia. I didn't know that it was such thing as a brown cow. I was seeing black and white cows. So it was just to being able to get away, decompress, not think about what I was going through in life, not thinking about what was going on in Trenton, Philly, wherever. But I had a chance to like get out and just pray. I started writing more gospel songs, and that helped me a lot. And then people in Trenton started calling me on my cell phone. You know, we had little pagers back then, little sky pages, and I had a cell phone. So people was calling me, talking to me, and that would help me out. To this day, I haven't talked to her in about 2 years. Amara Scarrato was my attorney, and she told me, she said, whatever you do in life, always follow your footsteps. I went on law school. She said, always follow your footsteps. So she showed me, she says, take this day timer, and everything you do every day, follow your footsteps. And that got me through. That got me through.
Oh, praises, man.
And another thing that got me through too was, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna shut up. Professor Craig Hayes, United Voices, the Gospel Choir out of Trenton, New Jersey. Craig knew me growing up as a child, and Craig said to me one day, he said, rehearsals on Wednesday. So when he told me what time, I said, I'll just be getting back into Trenton from Newark. He said, rehearsal is Wednesday.
So and then once you got invited back into the fold, things started to flourish together, huh?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry you had to experience that, cuz that's definitely a rough one.
Yeah.
After that, you decided to make a move down south, went down to Florida, man. And then the adversary was waiting for you down there too, man.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good that we can laugh about this kind of stuff now, but when we going through it, it's
when you're going through
hell. It's hell.
Yeah, correct.
It's hell.
I leave Jersey. People thought that I left because somebody ran me out of town. I said that'll never happen. I left to better me. I moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and let's just say, when a female wants you and you don't want them, you try your best to be nice. Man, this chick said, you know what? If I can't have you, I'll burn the house down. So I had went away to do a music workshop. I had 2 suitcases of luggage. Came back, man, the house was on fire.
She did a left eye? She did a left eye to the crib.
Hey, the house was on fire, and I'm standing there like, I said, what am I gonna do? Everything I had was gone.
Whoa.
I called Born up. I said, cuz, I know you in South Florida. I need your help. He said, what's wrong? I was telling him what was going on. He says, hold on, Fulton. Let me see what I can do. Next thing I know, I was homeless for 4 hours in my life. I was homeless. And out of them 4 hours, there was a park around a corner from where I was living at. Baseball field. So I went to the park, to the baseball field. I went in the dugout. Here again, it's just me and God. Me and God. And there was a man that was coming by, him and his son, and he was a Masonic brother. He seen me in there, and I asked him, I said, excuse me, could you give me a ride to a hotel? And he looked at me, and I had on my Mason hat. I had a Masonic hat on. He said, what's wrong? I said, well, I was living around on Imperial Street, house burned to the ground. I just need somewhere to stay. I don't have nowhere to go. And he said, I like your hat. I didn't even hear that, because I'm looking at what happened to me in 94. A female now done destroyed everything I had. So I'm like, my thing is, I just need to get somewhere to lay down and get something to eat. When he said, I see the light on your hat, then I knew that he was a Mason. He took me to his house, gave me money. He let me call Born King up, and I called Born. Born said, I'm coming to get you Saturday.
Shout out to my cousin Born King.
Born King came from Deerfield Beach, Florida, and picked me up.
I remember that.
Picked me up on that Saturday. He picked me up. He said, hey,
that.
He says, cuz you ain't homeless no more. Come on, let's go. So I tried to get a Mason. I tried to give Darius some money. He wouldn't take it from me. He just said, hey, I am my brother's keeper. I am my brother's keeper. And to this day, he and I we talk, we call him on the phone. He supported my first single, Preserve Me,
Mhm.
Oh God.
Mhm.
Um, so it was like I got to South Florida. Born King was like, hey, this is you home. Don't worry about nothing. And that's how I got to South Florida. From
Mm.
Jacksonville to South Florida.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now you grinding down there. What was your next step in like rebuilding everything?
Um, I took it one day at a time. And Born King, everybody knew who Born King was. every, no matter where I went,
Uh-huh.
You Born King, you Born's cousin. You from Jersey, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like, my main purpose was to find a job, to get some
Mhm.
money so I could get back on my feet.
Mm.
And I remember going to a church service and people say, you still can sing. Yeah. And I met this one guy named Ernest Gonder. Ernest Gonder introduced me to a lady named Deborah.
Mhm.
Deborah was the coordinator at John Knox Village.
Mhm.
And they got me a job there in the kitchen.
Mm.
And I was making like 11.50 an hour. And then from there, they got me a job in their legal department.
Mhm.
So I was doing research. So I was making $17 an hour. So it was my life was coming back together. I was putting my
Mm.
money up, paying my bills. I had bought my first car with my own money, um, in South Florida. In
Now
South
how
Florida.
how you go through the 1994 situation, the heart attack, and then the house get burned down. What kept you still having faith in the Most High, man? After all this stuff is going on, man.
I didn't have a choice
Mm.
because my thing is when you don't believe that your life is worth anything, God will come through for you. So that was my only thing. That's all
Mm.
I had was God.
Mhm.
And by me saying it was only God, and that's just me. You got mother and father to call on, you got cousins to call on,
Mhm.
but you know what? At the end of the day, I started reading the Bible more,
Mm.
and I just started writing songs, so it kept me in line. Kept me
Mm.
in line
Mm.
because you got to realize once you go through something
Mhm.
and you don't have no outlet, you're gonna go
Mhm.
back to that depressed state.
I've been there.
And
10 years, bro. I've been there.
in Deerfield, it was a large rock. Like it didn't even belong there. And I would go there and I would watch the waves come in and go out. And
Mm.
that was how I would just decompress. That's how I would sit there and cry. I would sit there and talk to myself, sit there and write. But
Mm.
God brought me through it. That's all I could do was depend on God.
And then still wasn't over yet. The storm still was coming. Take me
Yeah.
to 2006, man.
I,
Go ahead. Take
I,
me to the situation in 2006, cousin.
I met this lady named Tasha, ended up
Mhm.
getting married.
Mhm.
So I wanted to get into law enforcement to help people. And in order to do that, I had to get my foot in the door. So I became a CO,
Mhm.
Lanesboro Correctional Institution. They called it Chocolate City, the
Mhm.
borough. And one night I was coming home from work and I heard something go pop, 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 pop. I'm like, yo, that sound like gunshots. So I come out the apartment, I run around the side. At that point, I thought I had my gun on me, but I didn't. It was in the car in the box. So I run over there. It was two officers on the ground.
Mm.
Two, not one, two. So I'm like, what the hell? I'm looking around, people running, people screaming, and the guy who shot the two officers, he ran right past me.
Whoa.
And when I heard the gun go pop, pop, didn't even realize what was going on. But I seen the two officers on the ground. One of them was already gone. That was my lifeguard since this told me he was already gone. But it was one of them on the ground, and he was like, he kept saying simplify. At that time, I didn't know that was that Marine talk.
Mm.
And he said, I said, oh my God, how can I help? How can I help? What can I do? What can I do? He opened his hand. When he opened his hand, his keys to his car fell out his hand. When the keys fell out the car, fell out his hand, I looked down. I seen on the tag, it was car 297. I went over to car 297, started it up, keyed up on the mic. I said, "Officer down, 1033." When I said that, they ceased all traffic, all radio traffic. I said, "Officer down, Barrington Oaks Apartments, 1033, officer down." And then I started calling prison codes. I was saying like code 3, like code 300, code 900, code 900 went medical emergency. So they stopped all radio traffic. And all this time, I'm not realizing what's going on. I know that one was dead. When I'm trying to help the other, I turned on the car, pulled it up on the sidewalk, got out, locked it, went back over and tried to help him. Didn't make it. Didn't make it. I had blood on my pants and didn't even realize it. Didn't even realize it. The bullet went through and came out. When they got there, one of the cops said, he said, "You got your hanger." I didn't have it with me at the time, but this is, you know how police got the badges?
Yeah.
My badge it's in my wallet. But you know, I got this called a hanger. I didn't have it. So what he did was he said, "Get him a badge, get him a badge." So somebody gave me an actual police badge, put it around my neck, so nobody would push me away. So they called the paramedics over to me. They came to assist me. So it was that was a night that I'll never forget. And that was a night from hell because I've never seen, besides the guy who jumped off the roof at Miller Homes, I've never seen nobody die like that. Never in my life. Yeah, and it was something just to see somebody saying, you know, "Help me, help me," you know, simplify. 2 officers shot.
What kind of help did you have to get, like, with your mental health after seeing that kind of stuff, man? Like what did you go through? What was the steps like you went through, the shock, and like take me to those situations, man.
I had PSD.
Yeah, PTSD. I have it. Yeah.
Because my thing, every time I heard a pop,
yeah,
I'm like this.
Yep.
I'm like that. Every time I'm looking around. You know, I looked at, you know, my kids. I looked at my wife, and I'm like, yo, I couldn't sleep in the bedroom, so I stepped in the living room. So it was mentally, every time I heard something, I'm up and ready. You know, like I said again, I had a little shot on my leg, but I was up and ready. I was ready to fight. I was ready to shoot. I was ready to go. And mentally, it took a while because every year, my mindset go back to what happened. And I was told psychologically,
around
the trigger points, trigger points is gonna come. You're gonna have them trigger points, and I was told that, and I thought she was lying, but she wasn't lying. And here again, she said, "You have to believe in somebody. You gotta trust somebody." She said, "Whatever happened in your past, you don't talk about it." She said, "But you gotta trust somebody." And I never opened up to her. I never opened up to her, and by me not opening up to her, I guess she felt like I was a lost cause. But every time it get to that point, the end of March, going into April, it comes back to me. I wrote a poem about it. I wrote a song about it. But the way that I actually got through it was, I said, this will never have happened to somebody around me again. And I had to ask myself, how can you stop a bullet that's meant for somebody? You're not Superman. So I began to pray. And that got me through. Prayer changes things. I'm sorry.
100%. I remember, man, going through, and we never had this conversation before, so it's deep because I talk about certain times of the year, my body just starts to react to the old trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I remember it coming home, right? My first wife, her birthday was in July, and it was July 15th, right? And I ain't know it at the time. My body, I just wanted to go drink. Like I was gonna just blow my sobriety and everything. I just had the urge. You know what I mean? So then I'm talking to my sponsor about it, this and this, blah, blah, blah. I'm working at a rehab, sitting at the desk, wanting to leave to go drink.
Go drink.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then my sponsor was like, what's the date? And then I thought about it and said, it's 2 days before her birthday. Her birthday was in July. We got married in August. She got murdered in September. So during that time, my body just used to react, going crazy. And until you experience PTSD, you're not gonna understand that your body is just gonna react with it. You know what I mean? Like around that time, those triggers are just gonna come. And I went through the same thing you was talking about. I'll be somewhere, somebody slam a door, I'm just jumping up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm on alert about everything. You know what I'm saying? Like that because I found her. You know what I'm saying? So once you go through that kind of stuff, it makes that fear of what's coming around that corner. You know what I mean? I can't be that comfortable because I woke up one day and my life was changed without me doing anything.
But you know what though? I never smoked weed.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried corn liquor.
I
tried 151. And then I started actually doing NyQuil because I needed to go to sleep.
Can't sleep. I went through all of that. Yeah,
I couldn't sleep. So now
I went through all that. Yep.
So and then one day, my youngest son, he said, "Daddy, what's that?" I said, "What's what?" He said, "What's that right there?" He said, "Can I have some?" And it was a mason jar, the half mason jar, and I had 2 ice cubes in it, and all it had in it was 151. And the glass was sweating. And when he said, I says, "No," I said, I gotta take this to the head so I can go to sleep." And I don't think he even remembered that. But after I said that to my baby boy, I poured it out and I said, "This is not me." I said, "This is not me."
You broke that spirit.
Yeah. And then when I heard what you was going through, I was like, "This is not him." And then I heard how your recovery was. And I just said, all praises to
the Most High. Indeed, man. Yeah. Indeed. Now let's get to the recovering part, man. How did you get into the ministry that you went to now? You're a bishop now, man, and a deputy sheriff. Let's start with the hold on. I'm gonna jump into the deputy sheriff part first. We can save the church part for last.
It was more of a you see people that need help. You see people that want help but don't know how to ask for help. But you have been hurt so much throughout life, the pain that you went through, and you say to yourself, "How can I be an instrument to those that are in pain?" Knowing that the young lady have never went to justice behind what she did, that's painful. Seeing 2 officers shot, that's painful. You being shot, that's painful. So after all you went through, you say to myself, "What can I do to make it right?" I didn't want to carry a gun. Carried a gun before. Didn't want to carry a badge. Carried a badge before. Became an EMT. I didn't want to do that. Now something said, "You gotta make a difference for real, for real." And there's one guy. He would come on the job and he would be like, "Yo, the jail hiring, street hiring." Yeah. But then one day I just said to him, "I'll take the test. I'll take the test." And it was kind of hard at first because, Tasha, she was like, "No, you got enough guns already." I'm like, "Okay," I said, "But I can help people. I can help people." And one person said, "How can," at that time I was an elder in the church. They said, "How can you be an elder and a preacher and carry a gun?" I said, easy. I said, Peter carried a sword. So I justified, hey, I justified why I carry a gun. I
Uh-huh.
justified it, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But I thought about it, and I thought about how, in the jail, you can help
Mm,
somebody. On the street,
mm,
you can help somebody. You can talk to gang members. You can talk to the juveniles. Um, and I felt as though that I would be an instrument,
mm,
and that's how I got here.
You just told me that you came from a gang initiative out in Texas before we came on.
Hmm.
Like, what are y'all learning about, and what is the main tap root to why all these gangs are forming and stuff?
Gangs are forming now because we live in a world of entitlement.
Mm,
Guns are now taking over the world. Every child want to have a gun.
mm,
Every child want some type of firearm in their hands to say I'm somebody. Once you get that firearm, you're gonna have to be around people who will say, I got your back. You got this, I got this, gonna come together. You learn certain games, you learn what subsets are. You learn so much stuff that you would have to say, hey, how did this kid become a gang member? I have a platform called It's My Fault. That's for the parents.
mm,
But knowing that you say you're a mom or you're a dad, but your child's out here doing whatever they want to do, then they fall in the crowd of they see the Bloods, they see the Crips, they see the Gangster Disciples, they see the Latin Kings. Then
mm,
you even got the Latin Queens now. You got
mm.
Sisters of Bloods now. You got all these different gangs that saying, "Hey, we got you. Come hang with us." It's enticing. The money is enticing. The guns are enticing. So what happens? Kids are jumping on the bandwagon. I don't
Did
I,
y'all
I don't I don't have a car now, but guess what? I'm gonna hang out with Fuquan, and Fuquan gonna help me get that Lexus.
what
You know, Mhm.
did y'all go over the influence of the music, like the drill music and stuff like that?
That came up too. You have to realize certain videos you see, and you see them with the Glock 19s with the extended barrel. You look at that, and you got kids now. They'll be popping stuff up, and they just hit their hands like this, like just like in on videos. So to me, kids that are 12 and 13 years old are trying to mimic what they see in videos.
Mm,
But I was telling some kids one day at the jail, I said, let me tell you something. I said, what's funny was, I remember I was in California. People that you think have beefs don't have beefs. They have beefs because of the money and the music. But
mm,
they'll be sitting down somewhere eating together, laughing and talking and chopping it up.
mm.
So yeah, but
Man,
that music, to me, music plays a big part in it.
that's
Because anytime you
crazy,
say you can
man.
shoot somebody, shoot your mama, shoot your daddy, shoot the cat, shoot all this stuff that they be saying, and the
Spirit,
gang ties that go along with it, and they be throwing their hands up, just throwing their hands up. Yeah, yeah.
spirits,
The
spirits.
kids like that.
Yeah, the
So when they
spirits,
see
man.
that, I want to
Yeah,
do that. I want to be
yeah,
a part of the blood. I want to be Crit Two Child. I want to be 59 Brim.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. The
and that's
spirits, man.
it. Feel good to them.
Yeah, the spirits, man. The
Yeah.
spirits, man. Where do you? And final question on that. Let me get
Mhm.
into the ministry. Where do you feel that the lack of fatherhood plays in this?
The lack of fatherhood is a man will plant a seed and go to the next female to plant a seed.
Mm,
So where you at with your child's life? Nowhere to be found.
mm,
Either you in prison, and then your mama is desecrating the daddy, saying you're just like your daddy,
mm-hmm,
but the man is nowhere to be found. Not in the church house, but in the
mm,
street, his name ring bells. Not in the schoolhouse, but on the street, his name ring bells.
mm.
So the fathers need to be present, and they're not. They're planting seeds and they're moving on.
Sad, man.
That's why I said I got a platform called It's My Fault. And it's so intense that people sit there and say, "But you don't live in my house." But where the father at?
Mm,
You allow him to come and make your sheets warm, and now he's gone. So it's your fault.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now take me to the ministry, man. The bishop, man. The church you at. Like, talk to me. How did you get into
Well,
it? How did you?
first off, you can relate to this. Let's go back to Galilee. Let's go to Wayne Avenue Baptist. Our grandmoms, our great aunts, your
Yeah.
grandma,
Yes. Yeah.
grew up in church.
Yeah.
And my thing was going to church. I was able to sing.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, going to vacation Bible school. I remember
Facts. Facts.
my
Facts.
first, I would call that my trial sermon. My trial sermon was the church need to go to hell. And people was like, "Yo, you gonna be a preacher one day?" And
They
all I
said the
was thinking
same thing
about was
about me.
girls swimming.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
break dancing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like as I got older, um, living in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I preached one Sunday, and my topic, I never forget it. My topic was, "Lord, can you save me?"
Mm.
And I talked about how, and people say you always talk about the three Hebrew boys, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what that was my topic when my thing growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So I always went, "Lord, can you save me? You saved the three Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and
Good
Abednego."
to go.
And
Yeah.
and I always talk about that. So what happened was I kept going. I became an elder in Church of God in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And as an elder, to me, it's like it's prestigious or whatever because people ask you to come and speak and preach at their services. But I was still ho hopping.
Mm. I love
So
the transparency, cousin.
what? Come on, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it 100.
No, a lot of people can't do what you're doing right now, just
No,
being 100
no,
with it.
no. I couldn't. I mean, and I was still going to the club and
Mm.
get up and preach on Sunday morning.
Mm.
Shoot to the Zanzibar
Mm.
in North and come preach on Sunday. So it was like, okay, when do I change my life?
Mm.
When do I make this change? My oldest son, um, we was at a choir rehearsal, and my oldest son, I hooked up with this girl. I ain't gonna say her name, but I hooked up with this girl because you know who she is.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I hooked up with this girl, and my oldest son, you know, she spent the night. Oldest son comes downstairs the next day. It's another girl over the house, and my son says, "Daddy, that wasn't Miss So and So who was here last night. Who is she?"
Mm.
I said, "Are you ready to go to church today?" And I'm sitting in the pulpit at church, and something said, "You know you was wrong.
Mm.
You know you was wrong." So my son called me out. At that point, my life has unchanged. Now I'm changing my life now because now I'm starting to go by scripture.
Mm.
Cry out and spare not. You know, you have the faith the size of a mustard seed. I have the faith in God to change me, and that was my thing. I wanted to be changed. Some people
Mm-hmm.
get endowed in sin; they don't want to be saved. But I wanted to be saved. I
Mm.
wanted to change my life from an elder. Um, I became a pastor.
Mm.
No, I'm sorry. From an elder, I was a standing elder. That means that you're the lead elder, and then it's the
Mm-hmm.
pastor.
Mm-hmm.
So I became a standing elder.
Mm-hmm.
As a standing elder, I became a pastor. Um, I didn't want to become a bishop because I know the steps that a bishop have to take in some people's eyesight. So when I became a bishop, um, I said, I don't want to be a bishop. I went to Dallas, Texas, and Omar Jawar, he had a covenant of churches.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "I want to put you over my music ministry." I was like, "What?" So in order for me to cover that seat, I had to be a bishop.
Mm.
In order for me to cover that seat, I would have to go back to theology school, seminary to get my doctorate. Um, and I was like, I don't do all that. This guy over here, Dr. Martin Luther King III, he was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he heard me speak. And at that time, I was waiting to be consecrated as a bishop.
Mm-hmm.
He said, If that's the walk you're gonna talk, if that's the walk you're gonna walk, let your walk and your talk match up.
Mm.
I said, okay. Became a bishop, and at that time I had 22 churches up under me because I was giving churches within the fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do? Number one, I'm not a hungry person of money. Bishops, they raise money. Let me just get this. Let me just put this out there. A bishop is in an administrative role. That's why the
Mm-hmm.
Bible says, "He that desires the office of." It don't give you no prerequisites, but well, it does. But you have to be the man of one wife, sober, in the book of
Mm-hmm.
Titus, all that good
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So I don't drink no more.
Mm.
I got one wife. I
Mm.
rule my house. Okay, became a bishop. Became a bishop, and then I will see how prestigious it was. And then I was like, tell people, you don't have to call me bishop. My mama named me Fulton.
I love that.
And I was saying that for so much. People was like, wait a minute, ain't you Bishop Parham? I am, but my mama named me Fulton. And I came home to Trenton, New Jersey one time, and I said that over the pulpit. Um, and it got back to my father. And my father said, we know what your name is. He said, but what God called you? Where God put you at? I thought about it. I said, you're right. He said, now you don't got your doctorate in theology. He says, you don't even have people call you doctor. I said, Dad, I'm not title driven.
I love that.
I said, because when you become title driven, people look at you and people put you up on a pedestal. I don't even have an honorarium.
Mm.
You ask me to come speak, I need the date and the time, and I'll be there. But
Mm.
I've learned over the years, people, when I honor you, they don't give honor where honor is due. So it don't bother me anymore.
Mm.
So being a bishop, it was just one of them things. And I wasn't a bishop to hold my tongue. Because you can see that Real Talk Tuesday raw and uncut.
I know. I know. I know. I know. I
It's
know.
like
I mean,
tomorrow,
I
say
love
tomorrow,
it. I love it.
tomorrow I got Tell the Truth Thursday, raw and uncut. That's called 30 minutes.
I love it. I love it. I
So
love it.
as I became a bishop,
Mm-hmm.
I started visiting other churches, meeting people, and it was like it was an experience because now what I used to do, I'm seeing other people do.
Mm.
I seen how you a pastor of a church, but you got a wife and a boyfriend.
Mm.
So I would have to pull them to the side. Let me holler at you for a minute. I'm gonna sit you down for a little while until you get your life together. So I had a
Mm.
chance. My pain came with a purpose because now I'm sitting you down because I see what you're doing. I won't put you on Front Street unless you get yourself together. So I
Mm.
had preachers taking sabbaticals from the pulpit.
Mm. How was that
And
received?
it wasn't received by some,
Mm-hmm.
but you have preachers will say, "Thank you, Bishop. I need help."
Wow.
But you have someone say, "Well, you can't sit me down. I've been doing this for." Okay, well, either I'll sit you down or God sit you down. You take your pick.
Mm.
I even had some people put me in that part where I had a Parham moment with them. So
uh, huh?
it was just like that. But some of them they
Mm.
didn't receive it. But then when my number of churches up under me and became the first assistant to the presiding bishop,
Mm-hmm.
um, that was a whole other thing. I said, well, hey, I ain't worried about being a presiding bishop because guess what? Y'all got Mallory. Mallory is the presiding bishop.
How do
Well,
you go ahead? Go ahead.
when Mallory died, I became the presiding bishop.
Mm. Speaking of the attention and stuff, how did you deal with having your wife and stuff? How do you guys deal with the attention that other women have tried to give you? Because you're gonna have been
Yeah.
in that position and people calling you that. You're gonna have that kind of attention and stuff like that. Like, and with your past and stuff, the situations with women, like, how did you tame that, and how do both of y'all deal with that together?
Um, Funny part, I gotta go back since you asked that question. Let me go back to the elder. I came home to Trenton with the Quaker Bridge Mall a girl I used to go with didn't know I was married. Tasha standing there next to me, and the girl come in and kissed me right dead in my mouth. So I said,
Oh
Jay,
man.
I said, I'm married now. This is my wife. So she was like, oh, so
Wow.
it's like Tasha, by her coming to Trenton with me, she picked up real fast that okay, you was a ladies' man.
Mm-hmm.
People love you. Females love you. So now when I went away to minister, I will always take her with me. I
All
will always
praises.
say, hey, this is my wife. And I hate that saying my wife because now you're making it seem like you giving her a title and saying, no, this is my wife, Tasha. I would say my wife, my wife. People say she's my wife, and people know who she is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's more of a wherever I go, she go. Now there were
Yeah.
some places that I went that she couldn't go. I may be doing a revival. She was home with the kids. I may be doing a music workshop, and she was home with the kids because they couldn't get out of school. So, but it was very far and few that I went and ministered like that.
Mm.
But wherever I go, she go. Now people see me as a bishop now. I still tell them my mama named me Fulton,
What's
and
the
I stay
what's
humble.
the what's the what's the blockage of why the brothers are not in the black Christian churches? Like what's going on? What's the blockage from your experience? Like what's the blockage?
They don't want to be there because they see corruption.
Mm.
They see corruption. See me, people tell me, I like you, I like your ministry because you keep it 100. But you got pastor over here, money hungry, money laundering, sleeping with men, sleeping with underage boys. They see the corruption. So why should I go to your church and it's corrupt? Why should I come
Mm.
across town to this church and it's corrupt? Black men don't want to see that. Females going to pray for you. They're going to come and try to pray you out of hell. But a true brother, nah, you're not going to get my money and think it's okay.
Mm.
So I'm not going
Mm.
to come to your church. I'm not going to roll with it.
Mm. Now the good parts of this, like how do it feel when you see somebody that came in broken and then you start to see them grow?
It feels good because you
Yeah.
see the pain that they came in.
Yeah.
And when you
Yeah.
see that pain, you be like, how can I help this brother?
Mm-hmm.
How can I help this sister?
Mm-hmm.
And the more you talk to them, the more you minister to them. And see, that's what I
Mm-hmm.
say. I can't stand when a pastor say, "Oh, I was out here running women for 10 years, and I didn't like it." So me, I said, "Wait a minute, hold on. 10 years running women, you didn't like it? Stop lying.
Mm.
It's just like me punch you in your mouth every day,
Mm-hmm.
and you say you don't like it, but you're gonna stay in my circumference so I can beat you in your mouth every day. I can
Mm-hmm.
punch you in your eye every day or smack you every day. That's a lie. You loved it when you was out there whole hopping. You loved it when you was drinking. So stop lying over the pulpit.
Mm.
And see, people love the truth. People love when you keep it real.
Facts.
And and
Facts.
and men they're gonna a sinner will smell a sinner a mile away.
100%. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
You can run, but you can't hide.
100%. Now, in closing, because we almost done,
Mhm.
how do you feel now, man, when you like look in the mirror at yourself? Like, because I'm gonna tell you something quick. Like, I remember being in a like always thinking about um when I was doing the wicked stuff, man, when I was out there with all them different women, especially overseas and stuff, I would go at night though. I would go sit by the pool and I'd think about in my mind, like, what you gonna do when you like 80, 75, 80 years old and you think about your life and you know that you wasn't nothing, you was worthless. But now God gave me a chance to rewrite my life and I love that feeling. How you feel knowing how you was before your past and everything you went through, and then you look in the mirror now, man, and you see what he made of you.
if I tell you the truth, and to be keep it 100 with you,
Mm-hmm.
I look at my past and I keep it in my mind
Mm.
because I don't want to go back to where I came from.
Facts.
I don't care how big you get, how high you get, you still got to come down. And I stay humble.
Mm.
Um, yes, no, I'm not perfect, but I stay humble. Knowing where I've come from
Mm-hmm.
and what it took to get to where I'm at, I'm
Mm-hmm.
appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
And I give all praises due
Mm-hmm.
because I'm appreciative. I sit back and I sit in this office of mine and I say to myself, look at what God has done.
Facts.
And it's a good feeling because when you look at coming from Brunswick Avenue, Stuyvesant Avenue,
Mm-hmm.
moving on in life, it was a journey.
Mm-hmm.
And now where I'm at, I'll never forget where I've come from. If
You,
somebody hear me say I'm going home, they know I'm gonna hop on a plane and I'm going to Jersey. But it's a good feeling to know that God brought me from a mighty long way.
mm-hmm. You
God
know what's
brought you from a mighty long way. I
you
yield.
know what's deep. You know what's deep about that. Like when I first came into the truth, understanding who I was, an Israelite, and I was talking to some people about it and being in recovery, being in AA,
Hmm.
and they didn't understand. Like they said, well, God is supposed to deliver you from everything. But I said, if I pick up another drink, I'm right back in it. They said, so why do you still go to those meetings? But they don't understand. When I go to those meetings, it's somebody in there that's their first day. And they raise their hand and they say, this is my first day here. And that reminds me what's going to happen to me if I pick up a drink.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that person on that first day that's in there
yeah.
is reminding me. And then there's somebody in there that got 40 years that's still coming there.
Still coming.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I'm learning from him because he knows how to get through things sober that I ain't even been through yet.
There you go. Hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That I ain't even been through yet. So I'm learning from this guy. And in closing, one of the main things too is every time I ever went, cousin, right?
Hmm.
And somebody raised their hand because they relapsed, the first thing out their mouth is, I thought I had it. I stopped going to meetings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because what you just said, we have that built-in forgetter that life start getting so good. We start getting everything back. Then we put God on the shelf and we forget who brought us through this.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And then we take our will back. We start reading our press clippings like we the one that did this. I'm that guy,
I'm
man.
that guy. I'm the man.
And what was so profound, cousin, when you said that, I said my mom named me Fulton. You don't gotta keep calling me Bishop, man. That's so real, man. All right, cousin, man. Get your wife and your kids my love, man. Thanks for coming on. I love you, man. This joint was
Likewise.
powerful tonight, man.
Yes,
This
sir.
was powerful tonight,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I'll be putting mad clips up. You're gonna get tired of me putting clips up and tagging you. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be tuning in on your joints, or when I'll be at work and I'll be having nothing to do, I'll just be going on like I know my cousin going in today. I'll be sharing your joint too. And shout out
Thank
to you,
you.
bro, because you will share people's stuff without nothing, man. That's
Correct.
love, man. That's love.
Correct. Most deaf.
I love you, cousin, and I'm gonna
Love you
send this to
too.
Born so he can laugh and stuff, man. No doubt. We all gotta link up, man. I'm gonna come down
Yeah.
there. We all gotta link up for a weekend or something, man.
Yes, sir. I got
All
you.
right,
I
all right,
got yes,
man.
sir.
I love
All
you,
right.
cousin.
Love
Keep
you,
doing the
cuz. I
work,
holler.
man. All right.
All right.
Wow, that was my cousin, man. What a great broadcast tonight, man. And tune in next week that I got a brother coming on next week with a tremendous story. So this is Mike. Enjoy the rest of your night. Shalom.